Okay, look, before we do begin this week's episode of Ups and Downs for AEW Dynamite, I really think we all just need to sit down and have a little bit of an education, because I want you to be safe on those streets. I was going to put a pair of glasses on. I have some fake glasses, but I've lost them, so instead I'm just going to wear a mask. If I did this in real life, I would be fired damn quick. But the point is this: you have to be careful against all these weapons that we have been told about throughout the years, but you also need to watch your back when it comes to potatoes. Potatoes are a dangerous weapon. We have now learnt this in the world of professional wrestling, so look how careful I'm treating it. You don't just throw them on the floor anymore. You take it, and much like a child, you cuddle it, and you ensure that it doesn't damage you in any way. And if you really want to, you give it a kiss. You're thinking, Simon, did you just kiss a potato? Yes, I did. Right, thank you for that, and thank you for voting in this week's Retro Ups and Downs poll. Unsurprisingly, you all went for No Way Out 2001, the 3 stages of hell, so we will do that tomorrow on Friday. But for now, take your own finger of power, and let's up those downs for AEW Dynamite. Now, I don't want to start comparing companies, because I genuinely do love them all and I wish them nothing but success, but AEW really is very good at deciding what should open their programs. Because here, on this evening, we had Darby Allin taking on Joey Janela for the TNT title, and it was exactly what I wanted. I mean, this could have been the main event should you have wanted to be, and it was perfect for fans who just love watching wrestlers trying to kill each other. Or at least, that's what I thought I was going to say, but this was actually far more reserved. Either way, up. They even did some chain wrestling to begin, which I bet was a big FU and flipping off to some people that go, oh, they just do a bunch of death-defying moves. And Joey Janela even did a double axe handle off the top. And I love that move. I want to see it more. You just clench your fists, you push them together, and then you clonk someone on the head. He must have hit it poorly too, because soon after, Darby was going right after Joey's arm. He even applied the Fujiwara arm bar, although this didn't work too well, because our TNT champion then went for the coffin drop, and Joey Janela turned that into a German suplex and landed right on his head. Darby was then trying to steal one using a bunch of the most devastating move in all of sports entertainment, also known as surprise roll-ups. Janela didn't appreciate that, so he gave him a power driver, but eventually, long story short, Darby Allin did hit the coffin drop. 1, 2, 3. Just a really enjoyable match. And yes, now look, there was a crazy code red from the top, which is always going to be bonkers, but I truly believe this was 2 guys saying, look, if you want us to wrestle, we can wrestle, and if you want us to throw ourselves off roofs, we can do that as well. So it was just fun, and I'm alright with fun. And also, they must have known what was going to happen in the actual main event. They probably didn't have a choice. Jon Moxley was then cutting a promo on KENTA, and he's pleased that KENTA has now realised that the time for talking is over, and that they will clash for the IWGP United States title on the 26th or the 27th of January, whenever the hell New Japan Strong is going down. Now, Jon Moxley never said the words New Japan, and he never said the words New Japan Strong, but the commentators were, and he was stood there with the belt. I think the whole forbidden door, get in there, is definitely open. And of course, whereas that match is going to be sanctioned, tonight's match is not. I love this crossing of the streams. It's the first time I've realised the Ghostbusters were wrong. Okay, so the Inner Circle. I hold my hands up and say maybe I was wrong. But I'm still not 100% sure, so I am going to be a stubborn, bald a-hole and double down on it and continue with my rhetoric that I think that Maxwell Jacob Friedman and Sammy Guevara are in cahoots. You damn right I said it. I know we are going to extreme lengths here, but we did that with The Rock in 1998, so why can't we do it again? But Sammy Guevara basically burst into the Inner Circle locker room here and told everybody to leave but MJF. MJF agreed. They also said, hey cameraman, you should document this. And doesn't that just make your eyebrow go up? And without missing a beat, Sammy also accused MJF of trying to take over the Inner Circle. But then Maxwell fired back by going, well no Sammy, I think you're doing this too. And he actually tricked him to saying it, which pleased MJF, because that little asshole was recording him on his phone. I suppose that he was going to doctor this later and play it to Chris Jericho, but here are 2 reasons why I do not believe what I am seeing. 1, Chris Jericho has already said before that he does watch the show, so if you try and pull one over him, he's not going to be gotten by it. But also, 2, why the hell would MJF reveal his plan to Sammy Guevara? Because Sammy just took his phone, he threw it against the wall, it broke, so now there ain't no recording apart from the one we caught on camera. And this is why I am still not convinced. I think you can deliberately poke holes in this and go, wait a minute, something doesn't smell right. Now look, I will be completely wrong about this, but I've already made my plan clear, and ain't nobody gonna knock me off of this. It was then time for one of the most random AEW Dynamite matches we've had for a while. Because it was Cody Rhodes, here he is, teaming with Lee Johnson, taking on Peter Avalon and Cesar Bononi. I mean, if you've only been watching the Wednesday night show, I think you would have been a little bit confused. But given the ending here, and how much of a peaches and cream kind of a guy I am, is get it up. As ever, Avalon was just a dork in this, running to Cesar every time he was in trouble, but this was really important because when Bononi did get in there, he was even beating up Cody Rhodes. And Cody Rhodes is a top dude, so you go, oh man, I guess I better keep an eye on this guy. There was more here as well though when it came to the finishing sequence, because after Cody had been beaten up for a while, he gave the hot tag to Lee Johnson, somebody else we're trying to light a fire under, and he just ran wild, and he looked absolutely terrific doing it. He finished that off with an incredible Fosbury flop as well, so already he's climbing up the ladder of joy, whatever the hell that is. And even at this juncture, Bononi was still throwing people around and being like, oh, I'm so powerful. So you see what we're doing here? We're building new stars. And of course, it did end with the most devastating move in all of sports entertainment, the surprise roll-up, because all wrestling companies are going to do it until the day we all die. But it was Lee Johnson doing it to Peter Avalon, and because afterwards he got on the microphone and the Nightmare family were going, oh, Lee, you are the best, and it's the first victory he's had in AEW. I think his record before this was 0-29. Like I say, I can't help it. I just enjoy young dudes getting their due. And now, yes, look, I do agree with you that why couldn't he have just hit his big move and got the 1-2-3? That would have been more impactful. But I don't think we've seen everything here yet, because when you looked at the Nightmare family, some of them didn't look happy at all. The commentary team played this up wonderfully though, all like, oh my God, it's his first AEW victory. And again, after he cut a promo and he sounded so happy, it got me. It got me right there, and you know the deal, warm and fuzzy in that old tum-tum. Also, on social media afterwards, Tony Khan announced that he's officially been signed to All Elite Wrestling. Call me whatever you want. I like a good story. The Young Bucks were interviewed afterwards, and they are still so mad at Gallows and Anderson because they have decided the Good Brothers cost them winning the Battle Royal last week, which is really stupid for the Impact Tag Team Champions because Matt and Nick Jackson were going to choose them to fight at Revolution, and now everything is in the toilet. Of course, Gallows and Anderson didn't agree, and in fact, they were far more interested in ratings here as they kept throwing out numbers. And the very interesting point was that they said the blame should be put on the Inner Circle, specifically Ortana and Santiz. I don't know who that is, Ortiz and Santana. And then from nowhere, Matt mentioned that maybe they should defend their titles against the Proud and Powerful next week. And while that will be a fantastic match, I was a little bit like, wait a minute, that just negates the importance of the Battle Royal, because they didn't win that. That was to become the number one contenders, and now they're going to get a shot anyway. It ended with the Good Brothers wanting to do the whole Too Sweet thing, but Matt and Nick Jackson didn't want to do it because they knew Sting was in the building, and they'd be embarrassed. And what I think may happen here, and man, I am going into fancy booking mood, but imagine that Ortiz and Santana win the belts. That means at the pay-per-view, they're going to have to face off against MJF and Chris Jericho because they are the number one contenders, and then you can explode the Inner Circle and we can finally find out what's going on. I have no idea if that is going to happen, but I think it would be quite fun. Also, then Matt and Nick Jackson could go after the Good Brothers because they can cost them the match by accident, on purpose, whatever, and then they can fight over the Impact titles, and the crossing of the streams continues. Hangman Page also had an interview after this, and I just love this story. So for this segment and the one later, up. For starters, Matt Hardy is just trying to use Hangman's alcohol problems against him. He just swanned up here and he was like, hey man, I know you don't want to be a team, but I've rented out a bar for the evening. Why don't we both go there? Why don't we get wasted and we can talk business? Of course, the cowboy couldn't resist that, and it gets you right here. It's like watching Curb Your Enthusiasm. You know something terrible is about to happen, but you can't look away. Damn that Matt Hardy and his cash. As Page went to get ready too, he bumped into the Dark Order, and that was just brilliant as well, because John Cena was all like, oh hey, Hangman, Adam Page, if that's your name, I don't know, I don't care. Like he was his ex-girlfriend. It really made me laugh, and I was like, man, this is the serious and the surreal and the stupid coming together, and that's the kind of sandwich I like to eat. And then, my word, I think Pac actually killed Ryan Nemeth. Up. Not because he could be dead, but because it was a very good match. I mean, he was just like a runaway freight train here, and he absolutely wrecked him. I'm pretty sure Pac then secured the world record for the fastest snap suplex I've ever seen in my life. And even when Nemeth tried to fight back, Pac was just punching him, kicking him. He must have owed him money. He then just whipped out the Black Arrow and transitioned that into the Brutalizer, and he refused to let go after the fact, because he was just so mad and he's just so pissed off. And honestly, if we are not building Pac for a future world title shot, I don't know what we're doing. He's number 3 in the rankings, but really, we have to sort this out soon. I haven't seen this kind of dominant performance. Well, I'm sure there was one last week, but I'm living in the moment. This was great. We had a recap of the wedding from last week too, and Miro was talking over it going, oh, I hate everybody, especially Orange Cassidy. And I'm sure they are going to have a match because at the end of it, Orange Cassidy and Chuck were all like, nobody thought you were going to be in the cake. All of this is fine, and it is a little bit cursed given that Trent got injured and currently Kip Sabian is injured. But I also feel like the feud maybe is just a little bit extended. And then it was time for the Inner Circle, also known as Inner Circle time. Now, Chris Jericho was cutting a promo beforehand, and MJF was nowhere to be seen until he did rock up going, oh, my ribs, how am I gonna fight? I'm in so much pain. And once again, my eyebrows started to tingle. He only got punched in the stomach. You think he would have been shot. When they all did come to the ring as well, Sammy Guevara was nowhere to be seen, so like Scooby-Doo, I was a little bit like Ruh-Roh. And of course, they were taking on the Acclaimed, and I just want to say this. I think the Acclaimed are great. I mean, for starters, they have made this whole rapping gimmick their own. They have some really funny lines, and I know so many people go, oh, it's just John Cena, it's just John Cena. It's not the same. It's not the same. They both happen to rap, but I swear it just feels different. And then, yeah, okay, going back to my earlier suspicions, as I've just said, do you know what Maxwell did for the entire of this match? He was like, oh, my rear's my stomach. I can't fight Chris Jericho. You're going to have to get in there and help out. Does this not make you a little bit suspicious? Like you want to get your detective hat on and try and figure out what's happening here? I don't think it's on the up and up. I mean, doesn't even the smallest part of you think that it could be a ruse? I do, kinda, maybe. Shut up. But every time he was in there too, he was selling this. And unless Sammy Guevara was wearing the Infinity Gauntlet and we couldn't see, I just don't think it all comes together. It also allowed the Acclaim to go right after this because it's like a target right on his stomach. And even when Ortiz tried to get involved, he failed. Caster and Bowens were taking no squid. Jericho also went for the lion salt at one point and Caster smashed him with the boombox for a great near fall. But we all should have been keeping our eye on Jake Hager. That damn Jake Hager. He pushed Caster off the top rope as they were going for their finishing move. That allowed Jericho to hit the Judas effect, and by the skin of their teeth, the Inner Circle won again. All of this, however, was there to build to what was coming next, because out came Sammy Guevara. He got right in Jericho's face and he said, I told you a few weeks ago, I said if one more thing happened, I would quit this group. Well, I believe that one more thing just happened. So I quit. Jericho couldn't believe it and almost started to cry, but I'm sorry, this is just too clean. I think that we are luring Le Champion into a false sense of security here, and even if we're not, who cares? Isn't it fun that we can kind of guess and throw all these ideas out and still not know? This is the kind of depth I enjoy. Also, if Sammy is going to be off the show for a while, why can't he go to Impact or something and have some matches there? I think it would help everyone, but also if he is going to vanish and then pop back up at Revolution and go, haha, I'm in cahoots with Maxwell, well, that would be better. And then Hangman Page, I tell you, here we were for round 2, and once again, I was just screaming at my television, please, Cowboy, please, what are you doing? And then he proved he was really smart. Because of course these two were in a bar, and after Hardy had got him wasted, he tried to get him to sign one of those stupid contracts that essentially says, you will make loads of money, but it will all go to me. But when Matt turned to the camera, much like I am doing to you now, Hangman Adam Page switched the contracts, he signed it, so did Hardy, and as of right now, we have no idea what he put his name to. I mean, does he have a match against Matt Hardy? Is it going to be something to do with Private Party? I have no idea, but I tell you this, having smart baby faces makes me feel like a more well-rounded human being. I don't know what that means, but for too long I have seen good guys like, oh, I don't know what's going on, and then they get slapped with a banana or something, or the dreaded potato. Oh my gosh, nobody get a potato in here. We need to do this more, and I tell you, it's got me. I want to see what's going to happen. So we were all there going, oh no, Hangman Page is lost in his own mess. That sounds disgusting, but anyway, he wasn't. Tony Schiavone was then out in the ring to interview Sting. I kind of felt that we'd seen all of this before. Now there was a different twist here, because before the Stinger could even say a word, we cut to Team Taz on the big screen, who, if you can believe it, had kidnapped Darby Allin, put him in a body bag, attached him to a truck, and then drove off with Darby Allin in a body bag, just wiggling around in the back. And of course you can go, well, I'm sure it was just a stunt man. But we all know it wasn't. We all know Darby Allin probably went to Tony Khan and said, please, Mr. Khan, let me do this. And for some reason, they said yes. Darby Allin crazy. Sting was left to watch all this like he was the worst dad ever. And also, he kind of just walked down the tunnel after this. I was like, Sting, you should at least run. And while this was a pretty good angle, again, it just tied into all the things that I've seen over Dynamite the last few weeks. and that just took away some of its luster. Because we do need to stop promoting the whole, oh, Sting's going to do an interview, because we keep doing that week after week. But also, I think you would have got more mileage out of having none of these guys on the actual show doing some kind of video package going, this is why Sting is the best, this is why Sting is a legend, this is why Sting and Darby Allin are friends, and also going, but look what Team Taz has done, what the hell's going to happen when they all collide? But it also felt very similar to what FTR did last week, because they kidnapped Marco Stunt, and then as we learned on Dark, just let him go, I presume, because somebody went, oh, we're going to do this with Darby Allin, so we can't have the streams crossing once again. I don't want to take away from how mad the angle was or how excited I am for the match. I think it's going to be great. But I just think there are other things that we could have done that didn't feel like things we've already done. So I hate to do it, but down. Kenny Omega was then on a golf course. Alex Marvez turned up and was like, Kenny, shouldn't you be training for like your match later? And our world champion said, I'm already the best at wrestling. I don't need to worry about that. I need to worry about my spiritual side, and that's why I've come here to play golf. He then told Marvez to watch his drive. This was wonderful. You also saw Don Callis just put his ball right in the hole because he's a massive cheater, and both these guys are such morons, and they stranded Alex Marvez as they drove off in their golf cart. This was just a really good segment. It was really entertaining. It ain't gonna get any complaints from me. And I am also so up for this women's tournament that did kick off this evening. If you look at both sides of the bracket, there are so many great potential matchups, and there are now some wrestlers that I've gone and introduced myself to because I'd never heard of them before. And here we have Thunder Rosa versus Leyla Hirsch. I was all up for that as well. Is get it up. They started off by doing some technical wrestling. I just want to say what I always say. There is just something about Leyla Hirsch. She comes out here and she looks at the camera and instantly I go, yeah, I'm pretty sure she could kick everybody's ass. I don't know what it is. It got proper crazy as well as we were doing Hurricane Ranas and Tope Suicidas, because of course we were. And Thunder Rosa got back into this when she strung Leyla Hirsch up on the top rope using her neck. That's always gonna get you down. But then Leyla Hirsch was smashing out German suplexes like she was Brock Lesnar. She went for a third one and Thunder Rosa reversed that. I was invested. There was also a great bit at the end when Thunder Rosa went for the Thunder Driver, but Leyla got out of that and applied a cross arm breaker. And then Thunder just picked her up and chucked her on the floor. Leyla was all like, oh, I don't know what's going on. So then Thunder Rosa hit the driver for real. She got the 1, 2, 3. And much like our main event, this was a great way to ensure that everyone gets over, even though you do have a winner and you do have a loser. Thunder Rosa not only wants to win this tournament as well, she still wants to kick Britt Baker's ass. So there's all your layers of depth. Wonderful. We then had the best interview ever with Jungle Boy. Why? Because Tony Schiavone said to him, man, last week, Jungle Boy, your friend Marco Stunt got kidnapped. That was pretty bad. And Jungle Boy went, yep, that was pretty bad. What a fantastic conversation. Who knew such sentences would even exist? This was like a coming of age for Jungle Boy though, as he becomes Jungle Man, because he understands the gravitas of his match with Dax Hardwood and that it was the biggest victory of his career. Given everything that is going on, he's now going to make him his bitch. And never forget, when you say the word bitch in wrestling, it means now you're really serious. And then gee whiz, we were not flubbing around when it came to our main event. I mean, not only did Kenta come out to his New Japan theme holding his New Japan briefcase, but somebody must have gone, hey, I tell you what, as it is an unsanctioned match, you 4 guys can just do whatever the hell you want, who even cares? This was fantastic, and if you have no plans to watch it, you have to go and change your plans. I don't care what else you're doing, this has to be the priority. It is getting it up. And it was, of course, Moxley teaming up with Lance Archer to take on Kenta and Omega, and Moxley came out with that US Championship. And honestly, they did a little bit of wrestling for maybe 35 seconds, and then, I don't know if somebody said to the ref, make sure they kill each other, because they absolutely tried to kill each other. I mean, I can't quite believe we did this on free TV. Like, it started with Kenta hitting Jon Moxley with the briefcase, and that took him out, and then Kenta tried the same thing on Lance Archer, and it didn't work, but that was the story throughout. Lance Archer was a giant monster, and no matter what you did to him, he would just come back from the depths and he would absolutely whip your ass. There was also some teasing that Kenta and Omega weren't going to be able to get on with each other, because at one point they were pushing each other out the way, but then they did make amends with a hug and a kiss. And after that, when Kenta and Moxley were both going for their finishes, Kenny just got in the ring with a trash can and he smashed Jon Moxley right in the head. Lance Archer then brought a ladder into proceedings and gave Kenny Omega this suplex that looked absolutely horrible. And surely this is the definition that Ron Burgundy was going on about when he talked about escalation in Anchorman. I mean, they were outside the ring, they were in the backstage area, they were in the ring, there was all kind of weapons imaginable. It was nuts. I mean, Kenta attacked Peter Avalon at one point because why the hell not? And that ended with Kenny Omega being thrown through Peter Avalon's bed. And once again, I shouldn't be saying these words. And then Kenta and John Moxley were in the back and they were slamming each other onto tables. And I don't mean wooden tables that break. I mean steel kitchen services. And it looked like it hurt like hell. And it was here when Kenta locked onto the submission. And yes, Lance Archer broke it up courtesy of a bag of potatoes. So again, this is now the most dangerous weapon in the world. I'm terrified simply holding it. It also means that I have now officially seen everything in the world of pro wrestling. And I can't even tell you what happened afterwards because everything happened. I mean, the Good Brothers were out there and they were helping out Kenny Omega, and then Anderson was hitting stun guns and getting clotheslined by Jake the Snake Roberts, and then Kenny Omega pretended he was going to V-trigger Jake the Snake, but John Moxley stopped that. I mean, it was borderline exhausting. Moxley also had a barbed wire bat at one point. I honestly said out loud, why doesn't he just get a gun and start shooting people? And Archer was actually going to win this too if it wasn't for Kenta and Omega just smacking him right in the balls. That also allowed the Good Brothers to hit the Magic Killer, and then they all hoisted Archer up onto Kenny Omega's shoulders, and he hit an assisted one-wing angel to get the 1, 2, 3. But again, take nothing away from Lance Archer here. This was his best monster performance so far, and basically, he got screwed. This was just wild though. You have to go and watch it. One of the best main events I have seen in ages. From a chaotic point of view, I had a rollicking good time. I mean, it was literally like a roller coaster. And now I look like an idiot. Which brings us to the end of another AEW Dynamite, and I'm just gonna keep it nice and simple. This whole thing kicked ass is getting it up. Now don't forget to leave a comment below and let us know what you thought about last night's AEW Dynamite. Like the video, share the video, and subscribe. Head over to WhatCulture.com. Keep up to date with wrestling. Follow WhatCulture on social media, and there's videos right there. Click them and watch another. My name is Simon for WhatCulture. Thank you for watching me as always, and I'll see you on the next one.